hop out, valet, walk out. All these bands I lost count, cause I'm too up right now. Too up right now.
Standing, look in the mirror, how could you face that? Mask on, don't even know where my face at. Plenty, don't even know where waist at. All these in the room, how could you waste that? Huh? Why would you chase that? It's a never-ending run on this racetrack. No matter what.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas, NRG Stadium in Houston. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the Houston Texans. With fall around the corner, football is back, America, and we're underway on EA Sports. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It was the linebacker Leonard Floyd on the stop. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Second and 6, just inside the 30.
Richmond. Red, green, the line, green, the line.
On second down, here's Watson. Left side complete, Safarian Jenkins. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season-open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game.
That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. They give him a gain of 38. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On second down, here's Miller. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. Boy, not what you want to see in quarter one of the new year. We'll be back. Play action for Miller. Now Watson. Flush to his right. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
Well, that was excellent coverage right there. And he definitely did the right thing, showing that discretion is definitely the better part of valor. Threw it away, preserved the opportunity to kick for a field goal.
And excellent coverage. And right now the human is controlling the defense, so good job, human. So our initial drive of the night ends in 3 points. Maybe not exactly what this home crowd wanted, but they'll take the early lead.
They will take it. You're exactly right. Everybody wants a touchdown. But in this case, good opening drive, put points on the board. And a lot of coaches do believe the first team to score in the game is to statistically, often ends up the winner.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 24. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. They'll try to run for it with Howard. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Well, so much for picking it up on the ground on 3rd down. 3rd play of the drive, and this defense showing strong early.
I wonder how much of that was scouting. I wonder how much of that was a gut feeling like, okay, let's just go ahead and sell out here and get after them, thinking they're going to run the football and stuff them early, because they've now set the tone. They've set a precedent right here that if you're going to try and run the ball against us, it could be hard going throughout this game.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Black 22! Black 22!
On 1st down, it's Watson. He's going to let this one go deep. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Down. Green, the line. Green.
Now a play fake, and it's Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. He's got a man. Complete. And they finally are able to take him down at the opposite 47. Watson hitting Fuller with a big one. 41 yards. Watson making up for some lost time here in season number 2. He's got the Texans on the move with a first down. On 1st and 10, Watson dumps it complete to Miller. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those, too.
Green, the line. Green, the line.
Off of play action, it's Watson. Escaping the pressure right. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
Red, green, the line. Green, the line.
To the air yet again. Watson. He's going to float this one deep right side. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
Here's a carry for the fullback. That's Anthony Sherman. And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
Well, to me, that's taking a big gamble defensively because that alignment you see, that's normally something you see down near the goal line. Because now, if they decide to go play action, something should be open there, and I think open big.
So maybe that's something that gets filed away for later.
I think without a doubt, you write it down, and if you see that look at a later date, go ahead and take your shot.
Now Trubisky back into his end zone. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Cohen. And able to get a little more breathing room out to the 5-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Trubisky. And this is going to be incomplete. The linebacker, Zach Cunningham, there defensively to make that play.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, That does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Blue 80! Blue 80! Richmond! Come back!
From the 50, it's Watson. They'll roll him out right. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Watson hands to Miller on the draw. And he's got this down to the 35. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the 1st down.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going at quarter.
Back 22!
Now a 1st down throw, Watson. And that's off the mark, incomplete. It was the veteran Prince Amukamara that time who had the play covered from the start.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Down! Blue 80! Blue 80! Reset!
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer. Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
To throw on 2nd is Watson. Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Texans will add on to their lead. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the lead grows to 10-0. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35 and make it the 40-yard line.
Now, that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get it to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at the 40. Now it's Trubisky. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. J.J. Watt in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Play action. Now Trubisky on the move to his left. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Hey, 18.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. And that is incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And now out comes Houston. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass. Defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Khalil Mack in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. They give it off here to the tight end. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. Give him 4 yards there, but still in a big hole. 3rd and long. The Texans on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 16.
Down. Move, waiting.
From the gun, here's Watson. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Aaron Lynch able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that'll bring up 4th down. And he's able to get it out of there. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. So far they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now sometimes if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. Here's Trubisky to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation in there. The defense, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. 1:59 to go in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And now out comes Houston. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Green the line! Green the line!
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Here's Watson. Going deep for Hopkins. And that's caught inside the 30. The Clemson connection. Watson to Hopkins for a big one. 53 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Watson now to throw. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Khalil Mack in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Tiger!
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson eluding the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A 2nd one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. Still a little bit of time left here in the 2nd quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Sliding out of the pocket. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And incomplete on the deep ball. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the 3rd. So we have reached halftime here in the Thursday night opener. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Looking to throw, Trubisky on 1st down. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. This is caught. Trubisky hitting Robinson for a big one. And even 60 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
He's going to get it running right. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. So stuff from the 2, now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create, and if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Bernardrick McKinney able to drop him for a loss of 4. This is 3rd and goal. Still looking for the first points of the game. From the shotgun is Trubisky. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And he's into the clear. He's at the 30. 10. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Black 22! Black 22!
After the interception, here's Watson. toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for 2, and they did.
Well, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone, keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that 2-point attempt.
The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field and following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him for his second sack of the night.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. They go play action. Trubisky. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. Play action. It's Trubisky. They'll leave it for Cohen, complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. It's a gain of 7, and that's going to bring up a fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And this is caught. And the fake will work. He's going to have a first down. The deception there pays off to perfection. 14 yards on the fake punt and a first down. Trubisky now 5 straight completions here in this second half. First and 10. Looking to throw again, Trubisky. He rifles one that's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And this would have been returned to right around the 38-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
So here's a first and 10 at the 38.
Black 22! Black 22!
They'll try and get the run game going. This is Miller fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Adrian Amos up to make the tackle.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Hey, Black 22! Black 22!
Here's Watson now on second down. Flush to his right. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
The Texans on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Green 39! Green 39!
A shotgun snap for Watson. And he finds Safarian-Jenkins. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Watson now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10. Here's a give to Miller. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Play action from Miller. Now Watson. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Down. Green the line. Green the line.
They'll try to run for it with Miller. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Lamar Miller, 14 yards. And the Texans will extend their lead.
We know that the big guys won't get the credit, Brandon, but we also know that that touchdown belongs to them. Excellent job of clearing the way for their running back.
Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And now running right through it. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Back now here on EA Sports.
Hey, we got 4. We got 4 down. 4 down.
Red's up. Red's up.
On 2nd down, Trubisky. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Red's up.
On 1st down, Trubisky. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47 and to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
Reset. Down. Green the line. Green the line.
A first down carry now for Miller. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
Reset.
They'll run it again with Miller. And now Miller hit, and he fumbles. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Trubisky brings the Bears up first and 10 at their own 43. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. On second down, here's Trubisky. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
On third down, Trubisky. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe... Yeah, you've taught me this before. Maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Takes to midfield, but no further, just a yard there.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Texans on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 10.
Check 59, Mike.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. That'll be good for 6, but now it's 4th down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Sit up! 180! Sit up!
Out of the gun, Trubisky. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Jabal Sheard in there to get him for a loss of 5. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Now they'll run it with Cohen. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Credit the tackle to Darius Slay.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
The Bears on third down, as bad as you can be, 0 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. They go play action with Trubisky. Steps away to his left. Looking deep for Gabriel. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 39. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit. And receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
They begin with a run by Miller. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. Give him 7 yards on the carry, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. Again, it's Miller. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Richmond.
They keep it with Miller on 1st down. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on 1st down. They did that plus 3.
Green the line! Green the line!
Now Miller, he's had a big workload here tonight. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This time it's 3rd and 3. Watson hands this to Foreman. And he'll get inside the 40 to maybe the 38-yard line. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. Well, my friend, for the players, it's good for them to get that first game under their belts. For you and I, that first Thursday night game, also good for us to get that under our belts, wasn't it?
It was no longer preseason. We were into the regular season, the first game of the year. And, you know, all eyes were watching this when everyone was excited that football was back.
And it's just special. You could just feel it. It's so good to have the pigskin back out there. It'll be crisp fall weather before we know it.
You got that right, but I love the build-up to it, right? All day long anticipating it, and then we got here and we saw a game, the first game of the year. Let's keep going.
So for the Texans, they begin the new campaign with a victory here in front of the home crowd in the Thursday opener. And they'll get a few days to savor this one before they take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for the Bears, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Atlanta Falcons come to town.